What's up guys, this is Darkbblue, a gamer who loves Souls-like games, looter games, and every game that involves build making. Granblue Fantasy Relink does not end at the ending. It's not a traditional JRPG that solely focuses on the story campaign, but somehow similar to a live service game that wants you to play for a long time. Hence, there is a complicated progression system with very heavy farming and grinding demand. In this video, I will be summarizing the whole progression system so that you know what to do after the ending of the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right into it. I'd like to first show you all the progression elements and what should be your target for each of them. After this video will move on to a walkthrough that you can follow. I divide all progression elements into three types. Basic ones are rather easy to accomplish and thus should be accomplished first. Random ones require some luck in grinding, but it stops when you do have the desired gears in hand. It's kind of like looter games where you grind for gears with random attributes. The third type is ultimate ones. They require incredibly huge resources and is thus hard to accomplish without SL. So this should be done at last when you have already finished basic and random progression. Now into details. If you want to progress a character, it's best that you finish the personal story episodes. You can find these episodes in the mission center. Since these episodes do not cost you any resources other than a little time, and they do reward you with 2 sigil slots, it's quite rewarding. If you have been wondering why you have 2 less sigil slots than others, now you know the reason. Afterwards, you need to decide a wise combination of skills, which are the active skills that can be unlocked in a skill tree. A wise combination is able to make a character strong. Only after the accomplishment of personal episodes and ability decision is it the time to move on to more time-consuming progression elements. You have to cover skill tree, weapon, and sigil, 3 aspects in total. So in the skill tree, there are 4 pages. At first, there are only 2 offensive and defensive skills. Note that there are nodes that grant you more sigil slots in both pages, so do make sure you spend master points in both pages. Later in the game, you can unlock the 3rd page. So basically, you need to first level up the weapons of this character, and then the nodes in this page will be unlocked. All in all, the first 3 pages are all basic progression. Though you may feel that they cost too many master points, there will be lots of them in endgame that don't even require you to farm on purpose. As for the last page, it's part of ultimate progression. In short, your goal should be wait until this character reaches level 100 and keep rolling this page until you have 20% crit chance and some basic attack damage cap. It's better if you also have the other 2 damage cap attributes, but well, don't expect this to really happen. You see, this is quite costly, so it's suggested that you exploit the SL trick a bit. Next, we have weapons. The basic progression part of weapons is crafting new weapons, leveling up weapons, and lifting the level limit of weapons. Eventually, all weapons can reach level 150. It's quite basic and not much to say. There are 3 additional elements, the first being weapon enchantment, a random progression element, and basically this is sigils but on weapons. The other 2 are ultimate progression. Mirage munitions grant this weapon a few extra stats, but well, this doesn't really change things much, though it's part of ultimate progression. Weapon ascension, however, is very important. Both ascension weapons and terminus weapons dropped by Bahamut can be further upgraded after reaching level 1500. This costs huge resources, but also rewards you with important stat increase and additional traits. The last aspect is sigils. This is a whole branch of random progression. Basically, sigils give you traits which are passive skills. You first acquire sigils and then have to upgrade sigils. Before diving into how you can acquire sigils, it's better to first know what to expect for the best sigils. So you can see a Roman numeral in the rear of a sigil's name indicating its tier. The highest tier currently is 5. You may also find some sigils without a Roman numeral, and you can roughly treat them as tier 5. The more some sigils have plus in their name, this shows that this is a 2-in-1 sigil. It has 2 traits at the same time, and there is no penalty other than more expensive upgrading. So your target should be 5+ sigils so that you can fully make use of your limited sigil slots. So how to get these sigils? There are mainly 4 sources. First, you can grind for them by doing missions. Note that each mission has a loot tendency which can be checked in the mission description, so you can grind for what you want on purpose. Second, you can buy sigils from the shop, but they are only meant for temporary use before you get better ones. Third, you can pull for random sigils in the shop. The plus version of character-specific sigils can only be found in this way. Lastly, you can appraise curios. Some unique sigils like glass cannon can only be found in this way. Generally, you will be mainly relying on direct grinding for most sigils, and pulling and curios are to get their unique drops. That's all progression elements summarized. Next, what counts as a well-cultivated character? I have 2 standards for this. As you may know, there are many difficulties. When you are in Maniac, there is a standard for this stage. Practically, as long as you can accomplish the Proud Entrance missions, Bahamut Versa is all fine. And to do this, you will be using tier 4+ and tier 5 sigils, and no ultimate progression is required. When you finally reach Proud, it's the right time to prepare for the final builds. Finish all basic progression, grind for 5+ sigils, character-specific plus sigils, and curio-specific sigils, and do ultimate progression as much as you can. This will cost you a lot of time, of course, so don't hurry. Now you know your goals, it's time for a walkthrough. Right after the ending of main campaign, you will go through 3 difficulties: hard, very hard, and extreme. This stage should be finished as quickly as you can. Don't grind or farm anything as long as you can still finish the missions, and even if you die a lot and spend more than 10 minutes to finish a mission, it still counts as finishing it. After you get into Maniac, now you can slow down a bit and do some character progression. Most missions of Maniac can be done once you reach Maniac, so you can grind for the sigils you want directly. As for what sigils to use, here is what I use. For survivability, use Auto Revive, Guts, and Potion Holder. Then equip as many damage sigils as possible, but you should have some damage cap sigils as well. There are only 3 missions in Maniac that can be hard, because they all have DPS check mechanics. The first one is Vulcan. It can be hard when you first reach Maniac, but after a little grinding, it'll be as easy as a breeze. Then you have to fight Angra, which has 2 DPS checks. The first check requires you to kill 4 hands. To pass this check, you need to have all your allies do damage. By this I mean, well, it's natural that the character controlled by you is the only one in your team that can do serious damage, and all AI characters only support you. But now, you need to change the rule of AIs to doing damage as well. As for the second check, it's hard to actually pass it. So I suggest equipping Auto Revive on all 4 characters to bypass it instead. Lastly, you have to beat Bahamut Versa. If you can pass the first DPS check with your Skybound art used on it, you should be able to beat him. The second check needs some strategy. Make sure you have fully charged Link time, wait until Bahamut reaches 11% to 15% health, and use the Link time. At the end of it, perform a Ice BA full chain. If you manage to perform the whole maneuver, the second check should be even easier than the first one. Now you have arrived at Proud. Do some sigil pulling to accumulate the starting fund, and let's begin the journey of Proud. Proud missions are harder than before, so you need to do this step by step. First, grab the useful rewards for first time completing missions. This will give you some good 5+ sigils. Then grind the mission Melting Pot of Hostility for damage cap 5. Equip 5 damage caps on your main character and 3 to 4 on AIs. After the 2 steps, you should be able to do most Proud missions and grind for whatever you want. Your final target may be the last Proud mission, Proto Bahamut. In the end, I wish you can make your favorite character perform well. If you like my story or want to draw me into the depths of games, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.